Now, my objective here is to draw the auxiliary view for this. And I went ahead and I start the process. What I did, I draw a line, one of these lines at a random length and an angle of 45 degrees. Then I copied the line to all these edges, to these edges here, to all these edges. Yep. Then I draw my reference line here, 45 degrees. But no, I draw this line perpendicular to these. This line is drawn perpendicular to that. Yeah. So this is our x or auxiliary plane right here. And the rule for auxiliary projection states that probably I should label this x and y. So for that, I'm going to copy this, CO, enter, left click for a start point, for a base point. I'm going to remove my orthogonal mode, which gives us flexibility. Then I'm going to drop one here, drop the next one at the other end right here. Then escape. No, I want one up here as well, one here, and also one down here. Escape. Then I'm gonna click in this 2 times, 1, 2, wait a bit, label this X, then click here 3 times, 1, 2, 3, delete that, label this Y, then going across to this side, 1, 2, 3, wait a bit, press delete, label this X, go across here, click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, wait a little bit, press the delete button, label this Y, then click outside. Remember, you must click outside to clear that, then X. So this is now labeled XY. I think I need to change the color of these to something more pronounced. Probably this color. I probably could. That is a little thick. Okay, let me use that. Let me use the foundation. Use the foundation. Right. I probably should change the color here as well for this and increase the font size, but for now, that's okay. Now, so here would be our reference line. XY would be our reference line, and the rule to get the auxiliary projection is to transfer, use here as a base point, transfer this distance, a distance here, this distance from here to here, on the A line. So A line comes here, touches here, and then go up here, right? On this. So that's the rule. Again, I'll be using here as my reference point, my reference. So I'll be transferring this distance, the distance from A to XY, and the distance from F to XY, which is 0. Distance from XY to B, which is this distance, on this. And of course, it must matches the corresponding line. To do that, I'll be using a very simple command, which is circle. So I left click here, then go down to the point where this meet, up to here. Then I will be moving this, transferring this to the line, corresponding line. So I left click here, drag the center, left click on this, click and hold, and I'll be searching for, so this line right here, A. So going all the way up to A, so I'm gonna click right there, and I'm gonna trim off the excess. PR, enter, trim the excess, and that is a point right there. That is A. So here is point A. it is good to create some more of these and mark them as you go. If it becomes, so this point is point A. So what I did, I simply transfer this distance here from here to here to A line here, which is the end of this line. So this is A. So if you want, you could go ahead and label this A, or what you could do is make copies of this, CO, enter, and drag this someplace up here, store these up here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Yes, and you change these as A, 1, 2, 3, label this B, 1, 2, 3, delete, label this C, 1, 2, 3, delete, C, B, 1, 2, 3, label this E, A, B, C, D, E, delete, label that F. And as soon as a point, so I'm storing these here. So as soon as a point is created, I simply click onto this and drag it to that point. So here is point A. So I move that to point A. Point A is done. Yeah. Now I'm going to transfer the same circle back to the baseline. So I drag this here, take it down to B. Then I'm going to pull this up to here. Yeah. So I'm basically transferring this distance from XY to B on this line. Then I'm gonna grip the middle, and I'm gonna look for B on this. So this should have been B. It should have been B. This is B line. I'm going up to B. So I'm gonna drop this right at B right here. Then I'm gonna trim off the excess. BR, enter. Then trim the excess. And then I can move this. So I left click there, drag that out here, out of the way. I then click onto B here, click onto this, drag this down to point B. Yeah. So on this way, doing it this way, you will prevent any form of confusion. Yeah. This thing is really messy. So all we're doing basically to draw the auxiliary view for this, we're drawing here, we step off 1, 2, we transfer the measurement from the 1, 2 figure from two steps back. So in this case, measurements from here. Now this C is the same distance from here to here. From here to here is the same. So we could look for point C and transfer that distance. So let's look. This is what I'm saying. From here to here, C is the same. So I need to look for point C. Point C is here. Line C is here. So I'm tracing line C up to here, C to here. Click there. Then I'm gonna trim off the excess. Trim. TR, enter. Left click here. Escape. Then drag point C down to that point. Yeah, C down to that point. C, so you have C. Yeah. Now my next step is to drag my circle back down to the base and adjust that to point D. So here is where D cuts the base, right? D cuts the base right here. And now I am transferring. So what I could do, I could delete these as prevent confusion. I could delete those to prevent confusion at this stage. Yeah. Yeah. So my next step is to transfer the distance from D from the base to D. This distance right here. So I'll be clicking onto the circle and I'll be dragging this down to D to get that distance. Then I'm gonna move this left click here and I'm going to drag this down to point D. So this is D here, and I'm tracing D all the way up here, and left click there. Then escape. When I remove the excess, remove this is D line. I'm going to trim off this excess. PR, enter, click here to remove the excess, and that is our point D. You know what I'm thinking? I shouldn't have deleted these now because these weren't exactly on. Alright. I know what I'll do going forward. Drag this, drop it right there. Alright. So that's D. D is done. So we are going back now. We are going now to E and E. So let's move it out of the way. Let's move that out of the way. So far, if we were to plot this, we would have something like this. So let's go to outline, and I want to use polyline. So I'm gonna click A, C, D, M, A, enter. So this is part of the drawing so far. And once you have done that part, we remember that this we could also draw E because E is also in line with this. E is also in line with C. So E would have been right here. So we're gonna copy this line, copy that line, C O enter, left click here and go back to here. And that one could write on it shirt. I'm gonna copy this line, C O enter, left click here, left click there. Yeah. Alright, so we can pretty much draw the other part for this because this look at the base right here. E this is E right here. This is E and E sits exactly on line here. This is B. Let me change this to B same time. Delete B, click outside. And B sits on the line. B sits on the line right here. So B goes from here. So I could use that. I could use that polyline again. MA enter, touch this, and we have the front for this. We have the front part for this. Yeah, we have the front part for this. It's just one part of it. Now to get the circle, we would use the same technique of we draw some lines in here, and transfer the distance as well to get the circle. Alright, so let me get the circle apart from this. For that, I'm gonna use a different color, and I'm gonna use XL, enter, XL vertical. Alright, and then I want to use a different color, a different type of line. Let's use them. XL enter vertical. So I'm gonna draw one starts here, one starts there, one in the middle right here, and I'm gonna let one be here and another point here. Right? Trim. So just to clean this up a little bit, TR, enter, enter. Yes, so again, I'm gonna so for this, I'm gonna TR, enter, enter, left click, drag. Right. So I'm gonna transfer these distance. You get the circle to draw the auxiliary circle. I'm gonna transfer these distance. The distance I'm here from I when I use the center. I'm gonna draw a line to the middle of this. Draw a line from here to there. Yeah. And I could draw I could draw a line from here to here. I could draw a line from here to here, here to there, from here to there. Then copy these. CO, enter. And I'm gonna change this color. I change this to a different color using match property. MA, enter. And it's the very same principle we're using. So I'll be turning off the brown ones so as to prevent confusion. So to do that, I click there and I click on this to turn off construction. Or did I use what I use is door? Alright, I think it's door that I use for that. Alright, so that is now turned off. So now I can copy these points, CO, enter. Yeah, and then I'm gonna now transfer these distance, I'm going for circle from here to here, circle, left click here, that's radius. Now left click there, then copy and move drag this up to here, up to the center, and click here. And now I'm gonna trim off TR, enter, enter. I'm gonna trim above and below. Then move this, left click, drag this back down to the figure to transfer the measurements again. So again, I'm transferring this distance from here, and for that I'm gonna bring this down to that point, Then left click and drag this, and so I'm basically using circle to transfer the distance. Going here, one here, and one. All right, trim, TR, enter, enter. Touch here, touch there. I'm gonna drag this to the other side as well. Drag this to over here. TR, enter, enter. And I think the other point would end up here. Would be right here. Other point would have been here. Yeah, here. So I will use spline SPL or SPL enter, and I would start here. I'll use outline for this. Outline. SPL first spline enter. I would then left click here. I'll start this here. Left click here. Start it here just to get a little curve on it. Left click here. Left click here. Left click there. Left click there. Left click here. Left click there. Left click here. Left click there. Left click here, and drag this up a little bit more. Drag this up a little bit. Click enter. Why I do that is to get the curve nice and smooth. Then trim TR enter. Alright, line L enter. Sometimes we will realize that this doesn't want to pick up other points, so I'm going to draw a line here to create a cutting edge. TR enter. Alright, see working there now. Alright, so that is the outer part. Delete that. So I now have can delete this part as well. Delete. So that is how I get the auxiliary circle. Alright, some person might use ellipse to get this, but the right thing to use is spline to get that part. So now that I've gotten that part, you probably could turn off those layers so as to prevent confusion. So turn off this, mean it doesn't affect us. Yeah, that part is done. The next part is to focus on drawing the auxiliary view for the lower part down here. So this would have been A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1. Yeah. So it's having A1, B1, C1, F1. Right. So what I'm gonna do is to copy this line, C O or CP enter, and I would click here, click there, and please take note I'm not using the right layer. This is a center line which should not be used for this purpose. Alright. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer these distance across there. I'm gonna use this line that this time be current. Go for circle. Oh, my circle is here. Or go for circle, C enter. Oh, I need to turn on back the layer for my construction just to get those distance. Turn on my door. What else did I turn off? Did I delete those? I doubt I did. What else did I turn off? Those layers disappear, or I deleted them. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw reproduce these, use XL enter, XL vertical, and I'm touching here, there, here, and there. These questions are very time consuming. I hope they don't send any more of these for BMed because they are more time consuming to do in AutoCAD than to do traditionally. These questions aren't designed for AutoCAD pretty much, for AutoCAD exam, as they're time consuming. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is to start with this end right here. So go over circle, left click here, drag up to this point. Then I'm gonna copy this back up to this line, trace this line, this line, and here would have been TR, enter, enter. Here would have been A1. So copy this, CO, enter. Click on this and label this A1, A, A prime or A prime, A prime. Then go to B, this have been B line. And again, I'm gonna transfer this back down to that, drag this and left click here, then drag this up to get the distance, left click here, then copy, then move this, click and hold the middle, then look for, so this is now the B line, your B line for the lower part, B, oh that line didn't project as far as it should. So here the point would have been right here. So here would have been a point. So B prime would have been right here. So copy, CO, enter to here, and this is now click here, 1, 2, then add a prime to B, make that B prime, yeah. So what we could do, we could simply copy this shape using here as a base point and transfer it to this to get the other part. But I want to go through and do the whole process, go to the whole thing. So yeah, so you could do that. You could copy these, CO, enter. Choose here as the first point, here as the base point, and you'll get so I'll trim out this part. I'll probably delete this part. Trim, TR, enter, enter. Probably trim this part as you don't want it. This should have been on the base right there. Yeah, so this should have been touching the base right there. And probably I would have delete this part of it. If you want in detail line, then you need to let those stay. So that's the easy way of getting it. Auxiliary view. Then I draw a line here to get this edge from here to there. MA for match property. Here is the source, and click here. So this should have been the auxiliary view for it. So if I was to go through and plot all the points that I plotted before, it would have given us this. We could also copy this. So if the asks for hidden detail line, you need to go through and produce. Or what you do if the asks hidden detail line, the one that overlap, you would let those be, you change them to hidden detail line. This again, you probably would copy this, CO, enter, choose here as the base point to here, and this part would be visible. TR, enter, enter. So we draw here, delete this part, delete those two parts, and this should have been the auxiliary view for that. I think I'm gonna let this stay right here. Yeah, yeah. So this is basically the auxiliary view for this. Remember, the principle here for the auxiliary projection is that we basically transfer, once you establish your xy plane, you transfer the distance from the xy to all the points from like from here to here, and you then trace that corresponding line, and you transfer the same distance on each of these points, A, B, C, and D. Once you have done that, you simply plot join A to B to C to D. So it can be difficult. It's not the easiest topic, but once you apply the principle, you can get it. Yeah. We could also draw the auxiliary view for this to some other plane. Yeah, some other plane. So the same principle would apply. Say for example, this is my XY line. This would be my X. This would be X2, Y2. I will simply draw lines from this, or draw a line perpendicular to this to those points. A, B, C, D, and E. Draw a line to those. Then I would transfer the distance from here to here, from here to all these points. So here is where you want the object to form. In this space right here, you'd move 2 views back. 2 views back. So you want to draw here 1, 2. 2 views back to get the auxiliary view. So we'll transfer the distance from this line to A, from A to this line, onto this. So we draw a line right here up to here, then there'll be a perpendicular line from here to this. That is if you want to draw the second auxiliary. That is even more complex. So that is something that I will not get into in this video. Okay, so now guys, remember, this is how we draw the auxiliary view for a hexagonal figure. Yeah, this seems to be a bolt, right?